Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Deandra Levon. If you are new here, thanks so much for stopping by. And if you are not new here, then welcome back to the Clique. Alright y'all, so this is actually the first video in a brand new series that I'm starting. And it's going to basically be counselor student reacts to different TV shows. So I was sitting and watching this show, The Ultimatum, Queer Love, and while I was watching it, y'all, I was just getting all these vibes. And I was just like, I have some thoughts, and these people, they need some therapy. So this is actually like the second or third installment of Netflix's show, The Ultimatum. But this one, instead of it being heterosexual couples, the couples are all queer. So if you've never seen Ultimatum, the premise of the show is basically 5 couples come in, and within each couple, one partner is ready to get married and the other partner is not ready to get married. So the partner that is ready is issuing their partner an ultimatum. So in the beginning of the show, each couple breaks up and then they date everyone else that's on the show for like a week. And at the end of that week, they pick one person to do a trial marriage with for an entire 3 weeks. And then after that, they recouple up with their original partner and do the same thing. They do a trial marriage with their original partner for 3 weeks. And at the end of the experience, they have to choose one of 3 outcomes. So one outcome is that they can get engaged to the original person that they came with. The second option is that they can get into a relationship with the other person that they coupled up with for 3 weeks, or they can just leave single. So before I even start getting into my thoughts about this show, 3 things. 1, I would never ever go on this show. Like, the way y'all are testing your relationship is crazy to me. I would not be able to handle this. And 2, if you have to offer your partner an ultimatum for them to marry you, you probably shouldn't be getting married. I mean, I'm just saying. And 3, hardly any of these people are ready for marriage, and the majority of them need individual counseling. Alright, so we're gonna start off breaking down episode 1. This episode is basically like the introduction episode. It's when we get to meet all the couples. So I'm gonna just give like my initial impressions of each person. So the first couple that we are introduced to is Xander and Vanessa. So Xander and Vanessa have been dating for 4 years, and Xander is the one that issued the ultimatum to Vanessa. So essentially, these two met in high school and their boyfriends were best friends or something. And then about 5 years later, they ran into each other again, realized that they were both queer, and decided to date. And they've been together ever since. So Xander says that they just feel an intense connection with Vanessa. They don't think they would ever be able to find this connection with anyone else. They couldn't even imagine it. And this is a bit of a red flag to me. It gives a little bit of like codependency a little bit. So we're gonna have to kind of keep an eye out for that. Xander also wants kids, which Vanessa is not really ready for. So Vanessa basically says that she loves Xander, but she just can't imagine herself being in a long-term relationship. She literally says that stability and permanency are not things that she wants at all. And she even admits that this completely goes against the concept of marriage. So ultimately, she is like, no, I do not want to be married. I never saw that in the future for me. I don't want it. Vanessa really wants freedom. And this is very concerning because these are 2 people that pretty much want 2 completely different things. So we have Xander, who can't imagine being with anybody else but Vanessa. And then we have Vanessa, who literally can't imagine only being with Xander for the rest of her life. So it's not giving this is gonna work out. So the next couple that we get to meet is Yoli and Mal. So these two have been dating for 3 years, and Yoli is the one that issued the ultimatum to Mal. So unlike Vanessa and Xander, Yoli and Mal do both want to get married. However, their timing is just a little different. Yoli is ready to get married right now, whereas Mal really wants to wait a little while. They don't feel like they are really financially stable for marriage yet, and so they would like to wait. Mal talks about wanting to make sure that they have money for the ring and the house and the kids, and it kind of gives me hints of like what you see in a lot of heterosexual couples, where the man has these really strict gender norms about what a man should be and what a man's roles are, and oh, I have to be able to provide, and I don't want to propose until I can provide. And a lot of times the women in the relationship are just like, okay, I don't need any of that, I'm just ready to be married to you. But I will say, in a lot of these heterosexual couples, when the man uses that I'm not financially stable line, a lot of times you have to kind of look at it with a side eye, because a lot of times they actually are just using that as an excuse to kind of prolong before they have to actually propose. So I don't feel like Mal is doing this. Mal definitely seems like they are very genuine in what they're saying. So for Mal, I think it really is an issue of wanting to be more financially stable. However, Yoli is not feeling that. She's ready to get married right now. And Mal also comments that Yoli is in a bit of a rush to get married because she is a little bit older. I think she might be like 36, and she's ready to have kids like right now because, you know, she feels the pressure of that clock ticking. So another thing that was a bit concerning in this couple was that Mal mentions that Yoli falls in love really, really easily. And Mal is like, they've heard Yoli talk about their previous partners, and she always talks about them very highly and talks about how much she loved them. And so Mal is just a little unsure how Yoli really feels about them. Mal is like, okay, I hear that you love me, but you also loved everybody else that you dated. So what makes me special? What makes me any different? And who's to say that we're gonna get married and then a few months or a few years later, you're gonna decide that you actually love someone else and leave me? And so I think these are pretty valid things to be worried about with somebody like Yoli, who does fall in love super easily. And I also feel like this is not the show for her then. Like, girl, you are putting yourself in a very dangerous situation if that's the case. So gotta keep an eye on that, but red flag. So after they introduced these first two couples, the host just kind of talks about what they're gonna do on the show and kind of explains the premise of the show, which I already told y'all. And the couples are just getting ready to go upstairs to their rooms to enjoy their final night as a couple. And let me just say, immediately, Vanessa just gave me bad vibes. So all the couples are still coupled up, they're booed up, you know, this is our last night. We're trying to, you know, get our last little moments in. Vanessa is standing here with her partner, Xander, and she kind of says over to Mal, who's also standing with their partner, Yoli, she's like, cheers to our trial marriage. Like, girl, why would you do that? Vanessa is crazy. Like, why would you do that? Okay. And so of course that made Yoli feel a little uncomfortable, and it probably made Xander feel a little weird too, because it's like, why are you so excited already to leave me. Red flag. So now all the couples are up in their rooms and they finish up the introductions. So the next couple is Lexi and Ray. So they've been dating for 3 years. Lexi is the one that issued the ultimatum to Ray. Ray says that she is just worried that she and Lexi do not have the perfect, picturesque relationship that she pictures when she thinks about marriage. And this is kind of concerning for Lexi, because Lexi's like, girl, it's not gonna ever be perfect. Neither one of us are perfect, and I am not sure if I can actually live up to your expectations. So if that's what you're waiting for, then you're probably never going to say yes to us getting married. So that's kind of it for them. We don't really get too much about them yet, so we just got to kind of stay tuned for them. So the next couple that they introduce is Mildred and Tiff. They've been dating for 2 years, and Mildred is the one that issued the ultimatum to Tiff. So they're a little interesting. So Tiff actually says that she met Mildred because she was thirsty and she searched the hashtag Latina lesbian on Instagram, and that's how she met Mildred, and they've been together ever since. Not really sure how I feel about that, but I guess it worked out for them. I don't know. So Mildred feels like she brings a lot to the table, and she's just like, Tiff needs to get it together. Like, I'm that girl. And Tiff admits that Mildred does bring a lot to the table, and she has a love-hate relationship with how spicy Mildred is. And Tiff is like, I mean, who wants a boring relationship? And to be honest, y'all, when I first heard that, my first thought was like, oh, y'all probably argue and fight a lot. Like, there's probably some toxicity in this, because whenever people use that, oh, we like to keep it spicy, or we don't want a boring relationship, it gives that the relationship is very up and down, and that's kind of how they're justifying it in their minds. So they're sitting at dinner, and Tiff asks Mildred if Mildred really wants to get married, or does she just want the concept of marriage. She's like, do you want to just be married to someone, or do you want to be married to someone special? And Mildred is like, okay, well, of course I want someone special. Everybody does. But if that special person isn't ready to give me what I want right now, then I'm going to find somebody that is. So Mildred is like, I'm not playing no games. Like, I'm ready right now, so get it together. But Tiff just feels like she can't really take Mildred too seriously, because she's like, we are always breaking up. We're always arguing. We'll literally break up, and then a few days later you call me saying you want me back. And it sounds like Mildred is usually the one that initiates the breakups. So it's just kind of like, okay, why are you trying to get married to a person that you're constantly breaking up with? That just does not sound like a good situation. And I will say that Tiff sounds like they are aware of these issues, because Tiff is like, I don't think we're ready to get married. Like, our communication sucks, and we always break up every other day. Like, that's not conducive to people that need to be getting married right now. We need to work on ourselves first before we even talk about marriage. So to me, that is a good sign for Tiff, because that means that they are self-aware of their situation, whereas Mildred seems like she's not at all. Like, getting married is not going to fix a broken relationship. It's just gonna continue to be a broken relationship within the marriage. And the last thing that Tiff says is that Mildred has been married before and already has a child. So Tiff kind of feels like that explains why Mildred knows exactly what she wants, because she's kind of been through this before. So the last couple is Ozzy and Sam. They've been dating for 1.5 years. have, and Sam is the one that issued the ultimatum to Ozzy. So they start off by talking about how their relationship was magical and they just had an instant connection, but Sam is ready to get married, whereas Ozzy is very, very anxious about the concept of marriage. So as they're talking, Ozzy is visibly anxious. Like, it looks like they want to get up and run away when they're talking about this marriage concept. Ozzy feels like they would love to live together for about 5 years and then kind of reassess to see if they can possibly talk about getting married. And Sam is like, oh, we've already been together long enough. Like, time's ticking. I'm ready now. I'm not waiting 5 years. Ozzy's trying to explain that their process is just a little bit slower than Sam's, and Sam is just like, okay, that's fine, but you're gonna have to accelerate that because I'm not waiting much longer. So besides Ozzy just being highly anxious about marriage, I can't really tell what their issue is yet, but I'm sure it will be revealed pretty soon. So at this point, they switch back to Xander and Vanessa. They're in their room for the last night or last morning, whatever. And Vanessa is basically telling Xander, like, I want us to really lean into this experience. I want us to get everything that we can out of this and explore connections. I mean, she is so happy and excited. You can just tell that she is so excited about this situation. Like, she literally feels like she is on a dating show. That's what it seems like. Like, she thinks she's on like a speed dating show. And I feel like Xander picked up on this as well, because Xander looks visibly uncomfortable during this scene. And Xander even says, like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, why don't we just go home and be together? And Vanessa shuts it down immediately. Vanessa's like, oh, no. We are seeing this through. Like, this is my opportunity. Okay, I'm on TV. Like, no, we're not going home. And then Vanessa does this weird, like, playful hit thing where she hits Xander and she's like, don't get too mad if I like someone. And Xander is just like, girl, that is not funny. Like, Xander's face is like, I do not like this. Whereas Vanessa is smiling ear to ear. It is a very weird and uncomfortable situation because, like, most couples would be sad right now. Like, y'all are about to break up for weeks. And she is excited. Big red flag. So the next morning, they're all at the pool and they're starting the dating process. So like I said, each person is going to date every other person that's on the show. And it's so awkward, y'all, because it is literally like speed dating. Shout out to Vanessa. But you can see your original partner like right across the pool dating other people. Like, again, I do not know how people are able to go on this show. Like, I could never. So Vanessa talks to the cameras, and again, she is so excited for this process. She's just like, oh, I'm so ready. I'm gonna date you and you and you and you and you. Like, game on. I'm so ready. It's like, she acts like this is a competition dating show. Like, she is acting like she is on The Bachelorette or something. Like, girl, this is the ultimatum. Like, you are there to see if you are going to marry somebody. Like, get serious. Like, there is no way that I would be that excited to date other people right in front of my partner, and to see him dating other people right in front of me too. Like, why are you ecstatic about this? That is just I don't like that. So now they're just doing like quick flashes of everybody dating everybody, and they kind of focus on Vanessa a little bit. And literally with every person that she's dating, she's doing the same, like, extra flirty, extra ha 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 ha's, and batting her eyelashes and just like, you know, the whole thing. And this is why people were saying that Vanessa acts like she's trying to be an actress or a reality TV star, because she was doing a whole lot in these scenes. So yeah, it was weird. Meanwhile, they're kind of showing Xander on their dates, and it's the complete opposite. Xander is very uncomfortable, quiet, not really saying much, but yet they can like hear Vanessa flirting and laughing with all these other people. Like, I just felt really bad. So they show Ray and Vanessa's date, and the two of them were both given the ultimatum. So they kind of bond over this, and they're like, oh, I just don't understand how our partners are so confident and ready to get married right now. Like, I'm so far from that. So they're kind of talking, and it seems like they're kind of hitting it off. During this conversation, Vanessa also shares that she's pansexual and that she's just kind of like, I like whoever I like. So that was interesting to note. So next they show Lexi's date with Vanessa, and Lexi also is hitting it off a little bit with Vanessa, but I was just like, like, Lexi seems too cool for Vanessa. Like, it just didn't seem like it was a great match. But they did have some chemistry that you can kind of see. But it's weird because Ray and Lexi were an original couple, and it's like Vanessa is kind of talking to both of them and liking both of them. So you can just already see that this is going to be a problem. So next they have Vanessa's little confessional, and she's just like, oh, I'm just having so much fun with these speed dates, and I was just so surprised that I'm connecting with virtually everyone. Like, I did not expect that. And it's like, girl, what you mean? Like, of course you're connecting with everybody because you're flirting literally with all of them. Like, you're showing all of them that you are interested. So why is that surprising to you? Like, please be for real. So next they show Mal and Lexi on their date, and it's just like, yes, like this is much better. Like, I can see this working out because Mal is very chill, they seem very genuine, and just an overall kind person. And I get those same vibes from Lexi. So I can definitely see that there's a connection there. And they're already talking about like family values, and Lexi is like, she views marriage as a 50-50 thing, it's teamwork, and Mal is really in agreement with this. And so I was picking up like, okay, Lexi is young, she's 24, but she knows what she wants, and she has some good ideals about what marriage should be, and it sounds like Mal does too. So I think this could be good. Yoli and Xander go on their date, and they're bonding over the fact that they both issued the ultimatums to their partners. And they're just like, I want to be a hell yes from my partner. Like, I want my partner to know that you're the one and not have any questions about it. So they're also bonding over their similar perspectives of what they would want from marriage. So it's kind of cute. We'll see how that goes. So after all the dates, they get back together that night, and it's kind of awkward because you're seeing your partner, but y'all are like broken up now, and you're trying to like talk to other people. It was just kind of like weird vibes a little bit. But Vanessa, oh my gosh, so she makes it even more weird. Everybody's all standing around, and Vanessa's like, hey, do y'all want to go around the room and say who's your number one pick so far? And everybody's just like, girl, no. Why would we want to do that? Like, this is already an uncomfortable situation. Like, why would we want to say that right in front of our recently ex-partners? And Vanessa, you know, she's like, Yoli, do you want to say who your number one is? And Yoli automatically picks up that Vanessa's trying to be a little bit messy here, and Vanessa is trying to start something. So Yoli is just like, oh, well, you know, I would choose everybody except Vanessa. It was very, very crazy. And I guess Vanessa didn't like that comment too much, and she starts kind of whispering but making sure that Yoli can still hear her, and she's like, Mal is my top pick, which is Yoli's partner. Mal is my top pick. And it's just like, oh girl, you are really trying it. So Vanessa pulls Lexi to the side and they're just kind of talking and flirting. You can tell that Lexi, you know, she's feeling Vanessa, and they are kind of hitting it off pretty well. And Lexi asks Vanessa to go on a date with her tomorrow. So we're not really rooting for them, but it is what it is right now. And then a few minutes later, Vanessa goes on a little mini date with Ray, like right after, and also hitting it off pretty well with Ray. And it's just like, this is so weird. Like, out of all the people here, Vanessa, you are kind of wedging your way in between an actual couple. Well, they're broken up, but not for real. Like, you're wedging your way between this couple, and it's like, you can just tell that she's getting a little bit of like a little kick out of it. And I'm just like, this is not going to be a good situation. But yeah, y'all, that was a recap of episode 1. I know this one was a little bit long, but I really wanted to give y'all the full rundown and the full background of each couple and just like my initial impressions. And in the next videos, I might start speeding it up a little bit and putting multiple episodes in one, but we'll see how it goes. Let me know your thoughts down below. What were your initial impressions of the different couples? Which couples were you rooting for? All that good stuff. Make sure, if you haven't already done so, to join the clique by hitting that subscribe button, and also give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. That helps to spread my videos throughout the YouTube algorithm, and I would just really appreciate that. So thank y'all so much for watching, and I will see y'all in my next recap video. Bye.